Alright, this is part 2 of our lesson dealing with the volume of prisms and cylinders and cones and pyramids. We haven't seen any pyramids, but anyway, in this lesson, though, we are going to focus on working backwards. So, instead of just asking you to find the volume, which is easy enough, for the first few problems, I'm going to give you the volume and ask you to find something else, like a radius or a height or a length. Alright, now we're given the volume in number 7, and we're being asked to find this x down here. This is a rectangular prism, so we know that the volume is the area of the base times the height. Now the base is this rectangle down here, so we know that the volume is area of the base times the height. So that means, I guess I'll just do it over here. So that means 1,440 is equal to the area of the base times the height. Now the area of the base is 15 times x, or 15x. And then the height of the prism is 8. Okay, so we have this. So all we have to do is really solve this for x. Now 8 times 15 is 120. So that means what we have is 1,440 equals 120x. So we need to divide both sides by 120 to get x by itself. Okay, so those will cancel out. So, okay, 1,440 divided by 120. That's 12. And the units are meters, and this x is a length, so we will just keep it as meters. Do not forget your units. As always, please put your pencil down. If you need to, watch me and learn how to do the problem, but then pick your pencil up and go back and do this problem by yourself. Do not copy off of me as you watch the video. You will not learn how to do it that way. Alright, for number 8, once again we are given the volume. So let's start off by writing the volume formula. The volume of a cylinder is the area of the base times the height. So we're given the volume, so that means 72 pi should equal the area of the base times the height. Now we're also given the height of the cylinder, so we can go ahead and put that in. Now the area of the base is a circle, so we know that area is pi r squared. So normally we might put pi r squared right here, but the radius is x. So we might as well put pi x squared. Whoops. Okay. So we need to solve this for x. Alright, so we have 72 pi. I'm going to take away the parentheses now. So we could rewrite this as 2 pi x squared. I just put the 2 in the front. That will make it easier because I'm trying to get the x squared by itself right now, and I can get that if I divide both sides by 2 pi. Alright, just can do that at one time. Okay, so that way the 2 pi is going to cancel out. Now on the left hand side, the pi's will also cancel out, so no more pi. 72 divided by 2 is 36. So I will have 36 is equal to x squared. Okay, so to get x, we can go ahead and take the square root of both sides. So of course that's going to give us x equals 6. Now the units are centimeters, and this is a length, so it will still be centimeters. Alright, number 9 is going to get very complicated. You're going to be tempted to copy off of me step by step as you're following along with the video. Do not do that. Alright? It's going to be complicated, but I need you to have the experience of going back and doing this entire problem by yourself. Just like you will when you take a test or a final exam, you're going to have to do an entire problem on your own. There won't be any video step by step to copy off of. So watch how I do it, learn the secrets, but do not have a pencil in your hand while you're watching. When you're finished watching me do it, pick up your pencil and go back and do the whole problem by yourself. And I'm especially talking to, that includes my kids that will watch a little bit of the video and then pause it and then do a few steps, and then watch a little bit more video and then pause it and then do a few steps. That's no good. You need to do the entire problem from start to finish by yourself. That's the only way to learn. For number 9, once again we are given the volume. This is a prism, so the volume of a prism is the area of the base times the height. So the volume is 360, so I'm going to put that in. So that means 360 is going to equal the area of the base times the height. Now the height is x, so I'm going to put that there. So all we need now is the area of the base, and we can get going. Now the base is this triangle right here, this right triangle. Of course this 8 that's down here is would be the same up here. Okay, so this length, that's not very visible. Okay, it will be 8 feet right here. Now, this right triangle is the base. We need to find the area of it. I'm going to redraw it so we're looking at it straight on, because I think it's easier to make mistakes when we're looking at it from the side. So I'm going to take this base and redraw it down here. So if you can visualize that, then this 8 feet is right here, and the 17 feet is the hypotenuse. Okay, so we need to find the area of this, alright, because we're trying to find the area of the base. So we can do area of the base times the height. Of course, the area of the area of a triangle is given by 1/2 the base times the height, base of the triangle, of course. So we have the height of the triangle, but we do not have the base of the triangle. So I'm just going to call this x for right now. So we need to do the Pythagorean theorem to find this. So yeah, I'm just going to squeeze that in right here. So doing a little Pythagorean theorem is going to give me x squared plus 8 squared is equal to 17 squared. So that's x squared plus 64 is equal to 289. Subtract 64 from both sides. Alright, ignore all this glitching, I don't know what that's all about. Is going to give us x squared is equal to 225. And then we could take the square root of both sides. and that will give us that x is equal to 15. Okay, now we just needed this in order to find the area of this triangle, which is the base of the prism. So back to finding the area of the triangle. The area of the triangle is 1/2 base times height. Now we can do that. So that's 1/2, and the base is 15, we now know. And the height of the triangle is 8. Okay, so this is going to come out to be 60. Okay, working on your mental math skills, you could do this in your head because half of 8 is 4. And then it's a matter of doing 4 times 15. Well, 2 15s make 30, so 4 15s will make 60. Alright? Exercise your mental math skills. So that is the area of the base. So we will take that and put it where it goes, right here. Okay, so now we can solve this for x by dividing both sides by 60. Okay, that way the 60s will cancel out, and we will have x equals 6. Let's get the units in there though. So 6 feet. Again, number 10 is going to get pretty complicated. You're going to be tempted to copy off of me and write down the steps as I'm doing the problem. Resist that temptation. Put your pencil down, relax, watch me do the video, see how I do it. There's going to be like 3 different phases, right? We're going to have to find the area, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, do the circumference, find the radius, a lot going on. Learn how I do it. But then your true learning is going to happen when you then pick up the pencil and do the entire problem from start to finish by yourself. You'll be so proud of yourself when you do that. If you're just doing a couple steps at a time and pausing the video and then doing a couple more steps and then pausing the video, you're not learning that way. All right, please put your pencil down, watch the whole video, and then do the whole problem by yourself. That's the only way to learn. Alright, for the last problem, we're supposed to find the volume. But this time, we're given the circumference instead of, like the radius or something. So, we're dealing with a cone. So let's start by remembering that the formula for the volume of a cone is 1/3 the area of the base times the height. So let's fill in what we have so far. So it's going to be 1/3. Now the area of the base we don't know, but the height we do know. It's 9. Okay, so we just need to find the area of the base. The area of the base is the circle. But we don't have the radius or anything, so are we stuck? No, we do have the circumference. So even if you don't necessarily know exactly how you're going to get from the circumference to the area of the base, if you know you're given the circumference, a good place to start is using the circumference formula and seeing what you can do with it. So off to the side here, let's go ahead and do that. So we know that the formula for circumference of a circle is 2 pi r, 2 pi times the radius. Okay, so the circumference is 22 pi, so we can go ahead and just plug that right in there. Okay, so that's going to give us 22 pi is equal to 2 pi r. So what could I do with this? The variable is the radius, so I could use this to find the radius. So that sounds useful, so let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so we could find this radius by dividing both sides by 2 pi. Okay, so the 2 pi cancels out. On the left side, the pi cancels out. And of course, 22 divided by 2 is 11. Alright, so that gives us the radius. Alright, so now we know the radius is 11. Maybe we'll even go ahead and draw it in there. Okay, so we have a radius of 11 inches. Well, if they had given us that from the beginning, we could have just done the problem. So now that we have it, we can get back to work. So we were trying to find the volume, all right? That's what we're supposed to find. So we needed 1/3 area of the base times the height. We're missing the area of the base. So now that we have the radius, we can find the area of the base. So what is the formula? So the base here is a circle. And we know that the area of a circle is pi r squared. So now we can find the area of that base by doing pi times 11 squared. So the area of the base, 11 squared is 121. So that's 121 pi. Okay, so that is the area of the base. So we can take that and put it where it goes. Alright, so now we can go ahead and calculate the volume. 1/3 121 pi times 9. I'm going to put this in my calculator. Here it is in the calculator. So as an exact answer, I would have 363 pi. Okay, so the volume is equal to 363 pi. Now the units here were inches, so we could write cubic inches. But let's also go ahead and get this as a decimal. So we can just toggle it. So that's 1040.39. Okay, some of you guys have trouble rounding, so here's a good time to point it out. I like to round to the nearest hundredth. That's 2 decimal places. So I have to cut it off right here. Alright, so here's where I need to cut it. So either I'm going to leave this the same, or I'm going to have to round up. Now since this next number over is higher than 5, alright, 5 or higher, you have to round up. So somehow I have to round this up, but this is already a 9, so some kids get confused on the rounding when it's a 9. Basically, when it's a 9, go ahead and look at both digits. Okay, so instead of just looking at this as a 9, look at it as a 39 and round that up. So 39 is going to round up to what? 40. Okay, so if you think of it that way, then we'll have 1140.40. So there is your answer to number 10. And that is the end of this lesson. I hope it was helpful, and I will see you on the next video. Guys, if you were copying off of me, sort of copying along as I did the problems, you really need to go back and take out a sheet of scratch paper and redo the problems that you watched. You're not really learning it until you do it by yourself without me. So go back and redo the problems that you copied.